Now, on-chain repo is something that we talk about a lot here and is a major pocket of activity on Canton. What makes the on-chain repo trade between DRW and Hi-Fi so interesting was that it was executed using TradeWeb's RFQ platform with Marex as the prime broker. Here we have a crypto-native application exchanging tokenized treasuries and cash with a large market maker, all happening simultaneously and seamlessly across TradFi and crypto rails.
Years of work on this topic, these industry players are working together to deliver new innovation opportunities for the UK economy. This current phase of work is a live pilot and involves real customers and real money.
Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to another CyberX video breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be discussing some major announcements from the likes of Sygnum, Ripple, XRPL, Canton, and Quant network. Even though there was a lack of price action in Q2 rolling over into Q3 2026, the fundamental backdrop and the ongoing happenings in institutional adoption and the migration of TradFi into DeFi, or the merger of the both, did not stop or slow down. So we're going to read thoroughly through some of those fundamentals today. I am still on a vacation, so I do apologize if the travel mic is a little bit distant. But nonetheless, we're going to start here on this Sygnum protocol report, July 2026, and just read a little bit of the intro, because some super bullish things were said, in my opinion, and are signaling at a potential bottoming out of this bear market that we've seen over the past consecutive couple of months that started back in October 2025. Stating here, the macro backdrop, and this is directly from Sygnum Bank, one of the largest financial institutions directly operating in the crypto ecosystem as a crypto native bank. The macro backdrop has stabilized. The U.S. and Iran memorandum held for 3 weeks before a ceasefire hiccup in recent days. Positioning remains defensive, with investors rotating back into low volatility assets and equities correcting into a heavy earnings calendar that begins end of July, which we are currently at now. Geopolitical risk, however, may now be largely priced in, which is a good thing, if that is to be the case, which skews the balance of surprises to the upside. The seller exhaustion of June is likely resolving itself. On-chain long-term holders and whales are accumulating across every wallet cohort, and the share of supply in profit and in loss has converged, a pattern that is historically formed near cycle lows. Now, again, I'm not saying that the bottom is in by reading this to you all, but this is again coming from a bank that operates in the digital asset ecosystem that's telling you all that, based off the data they've gathered over the years, this is something that they start to pay attention to when bottoms start to form. If we are not at a bottom now in the total cryptocurrency market cap, we are definitely near one in the coming months ahead. Then here it talks about regulation being the swing factor, and how the passing of the Clarity Act would be a huge catalyst that would bring the next wave of institutional adoption inflows. So something that I'm sure a lot of retail investors, along with institutions alike, are paying very close attention to. So this was a really great report to wrap up the month of July, rolling into some ongoing announcements from the month of July that were absolutely massive. Hopefully you all didn't look past these, the likes of Ripple, Canton, and Quant. First, 2 hours ago, Ripple on their LinkedIn profile posted this: Aviv Investors just tokenized its first fund, and it's live on the XRP ledger. This is fresh. This is from today. Jumping into the report here, you can see the 29th of July, 2026, and it says, the tokenized USD liquidity fund will now be available on the XRP ledger, a public blockchain built for fast, secure, and low-cost settlement, where investors will benefit from the same investment objective, risk profile, liquidity characteristics, and regulatory protections as the conventional fund, alongside enhanced operational features enabled by tokenization. The XRPL will enable Aviva investors to reliably issue and manage the tokenized shared class of the USD liquidity fund using fast, secure, low-cost blockchain transactions in an energy-efficient format. It offers a set of features including compliance capabilities designed to support financial institutions operating in a regulated market. Since 2012, the network has processed more than 4 billion transactions and supports nearly 8 million active wallets. We are thrilled to be able to announce the launch of our first fund in tokenization space, or in the tokenization space, said CEO at Aviva. With the addition of the new tokenized shared class for USD liquidity fund, innovation has always been central to Aviva investors' heritage, and we believe that tokenization is a significant development within the investment industry. It is our view that this trend will increase efficiency and ultimately lead to the improved client outcome. And as such, it is something that we have been keen to develop for a number of months. So it's just really great to see that they are going live with this on the XRP ledger, where Nigel Koka, Senior Vice President, Trading and Markets at Ripple, said this is a landmark moment for fund tokenization. So really great to see some developments ongoing being built out where traditional finance is actually utilizing the XRP ledger. So that was cool to see to wrap up the month of July. XRPL Commons also posted this just a few hours ago. For those of you all that use Lobster Wallet, XRPL is now live on Lobster, expanding the XRP ledger into a multi-chain interoperable infrastructure. Lobster now extends its wallets to the XRPL. Phase 1 is now live on iOS and Android. It says you can hold and send XRP and XRPL issued tokens, so that's cool. Full balance and transaction history. Add XRPL issued tokens to your wallets. Multiple XRPL wallets under one account. XRP cross-chain swaps between Stellar and XRPL, and RLUSD buy-sell card fiat on and off-ramp capabilities. So another really great ongoing development in terms of the XRPL as we wrap up the month of July. Heading over to Canton breaking news. Today, 29th of July, Canton Strategic Holdings elects 3 new board members. Canton Strategic Holdings, an independent backer of the Canton network, has selected Sean Galvin, Pamela Carter, and Rashish Engilia, hopefully I'm pronouncing these names correctly, to its board of directors. The new appointees succeed departing directors Suresh App, Vincent Lepore, and Gary Stetz, who decided against standing for re-election during the nomination process. Some of these individuals have massive background credentials. For example, Galvin bringing 35 years of experience as a certified public accountant, spanning accounting and financial services, most recently serving as a senior managing director and chief administrating officer at Nearwater Capital Management, in addition to stints at chief accounting officer at BGC Partners and chief financial officer at Virtue Financial. So down here at the bottom, what I find the best about this is it says, commenting on the new board members, Mark Wendland, chairman and CEO of Canton Strategic Holdings, which we're going to get into in just one second, said their thoughtful approach to governance and deep experience leading companies across capital markets and technology will be invaluable as we continue to scale our operating business in support of the Canton network. And it says the new electees advance its digital asset treasury strategy, which focuses on increasing value through the acquisition of Canton Coin, operating as a super validator on the Canton network and supporting infrastructure providers. So this was cool to see a rotation of some new elected board members from the Canton Strategic Holdings side, which leads me over here to this huge announcement from Marex during the month of July. I said July was a huge month regardless of the lack of price action. Another piece of institutional infrastructure went live. Marex now allows clients to post USDC as initial margin for regulated derivatives. This is traditional finance integrating blockchain into the plumbing of global markets. And you can see those announcements here. We come over to the official Marex announcement from July 2026, where it says the diversified financial services platform announced that clients will be able to utilize USDC, a regulated, fully reserved dollar-denominated stablecoin issued by Circle, serving as the digital collateral asset in this workflow. The future of finance is unfolding right before our very eyes. Stephen Hood, head of clearing and Americas at Marex, said with regulatory clarity helping to shape the future of USDC and other stablecoins, the speed and accessibility of blockchain tech is transforming globally for clients actively trading digital assets. The launch of this service follows the issuance of a no-action letter from the Commodities Futures Trading Commission back in December 2025 on the use of digital assets as collateral. And so the reason why I'm even reading this to you all, this report from Marex from July 6, 2026, is we know that they have been heavily involved in Canton. And so We come over here to the Canton Network ecosystem update that was just released. This is their Q2 2026 update. And here we have the gentleman, Mark Wendling, the CEO of Canton Strategic Holdings. Take a second and just listen to some of the things that him and another individual representative from Canton Strategic Holdings says about Canton and Marex.
What Canton's building isn't kind of a momentum. It's the infrastructure for an underpinning of our financial markets. And so it's not just a kind of flash element.
So I like what he said, that Canton is helping build out the infrastructure for financial markets to move on chain, right? And then we come over here and this lady goes on to talk about Marex and how they were integrated with Canton. Take a second and listen.
DRW and hi-fi. So interesting was that it was executed using witnessed multiple headline trades that further spur activity drivers on the network. And issuers have focused on bringing more crypto and able to engage with others on the network and start to build applications of their own. On the application side, the number of featured apps on Canton increased twofold throughout Q2. Decentralized exchanges and other marketplaces have maintained their stake as the core activity drivers on the network, and issuers have focused on bringing more crypto and real-world assets on-chain for use in trading, collateral management, and capital deployment opportunities. In Q2, we witnessed multiple headline trades that further speak to how the lines between DeFi and TradFi are blurring. HSBC completed their tokenized deposit pilot, which marked their first issuance on a public blockchain. This is a substantial step forward in the use of tokenized cash on Canton. Now, on-chain repo is something that we talk about a lot here and is a major pocket of activity on Canton. What makes the on-chain repo trade between DRW and hi-fi so interesting was that it was executed using Tradeweb's RFQ platform with Marex as the prime broker. Here we have a crypto native application exchanging tokenized treasuries and cash with a large market maker, all happening simultaneously and seamlessly across TradFi and crypto rails.
So there you guys heard confirmation that Marex was involved with Canton network transactions. And so that was just cool to see, considering that Mark Wendling mentioned that Canton is building out the infrastructure for the future of finance. And we had this announcement from July 16th, 2026, where the head of clearing of Americas at Amex said that we are witnessing the future of finance unfolding right before our very eyes. So yet again, just some major breakthroughs to be mindful of and pay attention to that took place in July, showing that traditional finance and DeFi is merging at a very rapid pace. Last but not least, we have this release from the 15th of July, 2026 to wrap up the first month of Q3. And right down here, it says, Quant built and operates the core infrastructure behind Great British Tokenized Deposits, or GBTD. The UK finances program bringing major UK banks onto shared tokenized deposit infrastructure across GBTD's participating banks. 2 account models have been tested live. The mirror model, where core banking stays the source of truth and the token is a synchronized one-to-one representation, and omnibus model, where a single pool reserve backs all tokens and the token ledger itself becomes authoritative. So this piece just confirms that Quant was literally behind the Great British Tokenized Deposit, or GBTD, the UK's finance program, and Quant just also released this today. Quant 2 hours ago over on their LinkedIn profile, it says, in light of the recent recap of the GBTD panel, on June 25th, the Digital Innovation Summit, the UK Finance released a video explaining the Great British Tokenized Deposit Initiative in plain terms. And it says Barclays, Lloyds Banking Group, HSBC, Monzo, Nationwide Building Society, NatWest, and Santander, alongside legal support from Linklaters, PMO, and EY, all support Quant. And they released this little tiny video clip, which is the last little video that I'll play here for you all, where it goes on to talk about the GBTD initiative and what this all is. So just take a second real fast and listen. I'm going to speed it up just a little bit to save some time, but sit back, relax, and listen to some of the developments unfolding on the Quant network, or that Quant network is involved in.
The UK has one of the world's most trusted and interconnected payment systems. Payments work well today, and users are well served. As the digital economy evolves, new technologies are creating opportunities to build on these strong foundations. Opportunities to simplify and introduce new functionality to support entirely new journeys for the digital ecosystem. making payments smarter, safer, and more integrated with the way people and businesses operate. Today's payment journeys can be enhanced by tokenization and tokenized deposits. GBTD is a collaborative industry initiative involving 7 of the largest banks, building societies, and challenger banks, working with a group of vendors across legal, tech, and consulting. Following several years of work on this topic, these industry players are working together to deliver new innovation opportunities for the UK economy. This current phase of work is a live pilot and involves real customers and real money. GBTD is a world-leading digital innovation, the first multi-bank tokenized deposit system designed to accelerate digital finance transformation, unlock innovation, and support sustainable economic growth. Tokenized deposits are simply a smarter and upgraded form of the money we all use today. They don't change the nature of your money. New technology simply enables additional functions and features. GBTD enables safe, programmable tokenized money while remaining fully aligned with monetary policy, financial stability, and regulatory objectives. GBTD is a new financial infrastructure that enables regulated institutions to use and exchange tokenized deposits safely and at scale, allowing payments, data, and assets to move together. This unlocks new services, reduces friction across complex transactions, and enables innovation. At its core, GBTD is a shared orchestration layer. It enables regulated financial institutions to issue and transact in tokenized sterling within a trusted environment, supported by embedded rules, controls, and safeguards. Transactions are programmable, interoperable, and atomic, meaning payments, delivery, and settlement can occur together, instantly and securely. This is not a replacement for existing infrastructure, but a complementary addition. GBTD enables different banks' tokenized deposits to interoperate with one another and with other forms of money, reliably, securely, and at scale. In the pilot, we are exploring 3 use cases. Imagine today you want to buy a bike on an online marketplace. GBTD enables new functionality on the money we use today, giving customers greater confidence to transact online. Imagine you are buying a house. Complex transactions can be simplified, giving all parties greater certainty and control. Imagine you are a corporate that wants to trade digital bonds. GBTD enhances the digital asset journey, enabling delivery versus payment outcomes, unlocking liquidity, and enhancing efficiency. GBTD delivers value across the entire ecosystem. For consumers, it gives even safer payments experiences with more control over their money. For small businesses, it supports digitization of payments and asset workflows. For larger corporates, it unlocks new treasury capabilities, from instantaneous settlement to enhanced collateral efficiency, reducing cost and risk. For banks and building societies, it offers a way to bring their deposit base on-chain, unlocking the benefits of programmable and composable payment flows in a way that is interoperable with other financial institutions. It can create operational and liquidity efficiencies. For the UK economy, it will deliver growth and competitiveness. Tokenized deposits represent an upgrade on the form of money we all use today and ensures commercial bank money can be used in digitally native ecosystems. This is visionary. It's not just that it's the UK's first tokenized deposit payment system, but that it will deliver the foundational capability for the UK's digital finance transformation. Just as smartphones enabled new apps.
So I thought that that was pretty crazy right there, that they said that this is what's going to literally deliver the ability for the UK to transition into this new digitally native economy, right? So I'll stop the video there. I hope that you all enjoyed today's updates and just kind of fundamentals that went on in July in case you missed them. Groundbreaking things taking shape on the XRPL, Canton network, and Quant all across the board. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you all to go out there and buy the native digital assets of any of these networks, XRP, Canton, or Quant. Always do your own personal research. With that being said, do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the platform, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.